the identifying and removing of these tapliners when we are ready to let them go would not be possible without the connection to the ears, a continued awareness of how creation operates, and the incalculable assistance of the real guides, who not only will reveal to us all restrictions, but are instrumental in assisting us in their release. As you can imagine, many tapliners are very deep-rooted and stem from lifetimes long ago, making it far harder to identify the exact particulars of them and ensure their removal. So, without this connection, without the real intent recognized, and the process of becoming more aware embraced, individuals can protest and proclaim their freedom in defiance of the controllers as much as they want. But the fact that they are standing in such a controlled experience revealed that they had a hand in its construction, for you cannot experience anything unless you agreed and decided on its cause. Perhaps they can release certain tapliners, but unconscious of the full extent of their created consciousness, unaware of how cause and effect creation works, unaware that every creational idea represents a potential restriction if agreed to, and with no real guides to navigate them through and shine a true light on the recesses of their subconscious agreements, it is unlikely, if not impossible, that they will get through a creation on their own. But the individuals in my experience here certainly benefited. They woke up to an extent. They recognized their slavery and decided a new position. So that was a start. For individuals must firstly know what's happening in the world and accept that. But knowledge of the controlled situation is only the first step. Extricating yourself from the restriction and the means by which this is done must follow. For knowledge alone won't get you out of creation. You still are the effects of it, and in fact, people can even become emotionally attached to the knowledge and the revelations about reptilians ruling the world. They can latch onto their literalized minds and hoard endless reams of information pertaining to the plight of the humans, but that still won't get them out of creation, as everything of creation has nothing to do with the true reality. It is only a reference as to what the is not, and something for the personal self to relate to. Anything of the mind, the literal information, the emotional response to the information, anything of the created personal self only, will not serve to move an individual any closer to superseding creation, unless it is recognized for what it is, and how it fits with the overall process toward that end, as references only. It is well worth reminding ourselves here that the is an invisible reality, despite it being everything, and so anything that presents as an experience on the physical or on the real side is something created and put together for the personal self and of creation subsequently, and all experiences, regardless of what they are references, viewpoints, and comparisons only, and are again another step. The step beyond the experiences is the recognition of this true reality that all created references hint at, and experiences can be utilized as a comparative tool for. And the final scene then, getting through what I might suggest are the stumbling blocks of creation, as the great stone slabs barred my path. They were probably facets and aspects that make up the complexity of the 9-to-5 slavery job agreement idea, as these deeply ingrained tapliners will be very convoluted in their design over many thousands of lifetimes of their maintenance, and how they are continually added to. Again, the theme of the 9-to-5 job idea may be apparent to people as they wake up, but the complexity of the tapline and its removal will require this greater awareness process. The real guides and the real you that oversees all of creation. that can untangle all of its complication, that the personal self alone that has not made this connection to the true reality would be unable to. The rock slabs, suggesting the rigidity that such agreements present, a rigid constriction that compounds, becomes denser, and results in a continued density of experience. An idea over lifetimes of agreement becomes then a mighty restricting block of stone, and although these great slabs of agreement stone may move about to a degree, as they did in this experience, as the particulars of the agreement may vary, the main slavery agreement principle remains, and the consequent effect must be endured. In the house now, and walking through the short hallway, perhaps now I am in my causal vehicle, where, yes, the agreement tapline and the mummy creature that represents it resides. All these old causal reference experiences in akashic book form, and crashing to the floor from disintegrating cabinets that are no longer able to hold them. Perhaps these are all the lifetime reference experiences pertaining to this particular fear-based agreement to slavery idea, as the overall agreement to slavery that manifested, effected all these experiences into being is shattered, and finally a confrontation with the monster of my slavery agreement, a monster I had created and now would confront, and there it lay, a snivelling, pathetic thing. All the fear-based agreements that had made it powerful were no longer feeding it and providing it with its might of size and magic, and really that was just an appearance besides, as the controllers only have power if they have the agreement that ensures their control and power base. Take away the agreement and they have nothing. They cannot manifest their desired experience of control without those willing to agree and make it so. The monsters become diminished and present as even less, for the controllers have more fear than anybody. Those with the most fear project it on others. The fear of not having, greatly distorted to wanting everything, and everyone else having nothing, a true indication of a lack of awareness exhibited in their very actions, demonstrated by their deeds, and with agreement retracted from such fear-based individuals. All they have then is the fear that they wallow in, and this is how I would find the monster of my overall agreement to slavery idea, with the agreement now retracted, a pathetic, tiny creature. This is how I would leave this creature also. I would simply depart, for as long as we are in creation, our personal self is maintained, and all the reference experiences it carries, including those tapliners that no longer have us, the effects of, once we decide to supersede them and let them go. We can't get rid of the personal self. We are rather stuck with it while we are here, but we no longer have to be encumbered by it once we recognize its design and how to step aside from the necessity to experience through it in accordance with its programmed construction.
That's a whole course in itself. That's very good, because a lot of people are going through that, and you see all the different areas. And one example of that, the books falling off the shelf, etc., to the floor. Well, you're privy to that knowledge, and you're sharing it. Good for you. You have the courage to step up, and hey, they are listening. They are seeing this, and yes, and the reptilians are the same. They bloat themselves up to be really big and giant, but they're just little afraid souls, unaware souls that they don't know what else to do. So we're educating them, aren't we? We are redoing everything. We are providing real guidance and a real education like nobody else. It's all for you, everybody. It's very real. Learn to recognize this reality. It's a big journey, but it's worth it. Yes, have fun. We'll see you next time. Thank you.